to another video. I know it's been forever, a little over a month. So in today's video, I'm going to talk a little bit about basically what's been going on in life and why I've been kind of MIA. I feel like I keep on having phases of that where I make videos and I don't. Life happens. It's okay. I was trying to do this without little Miss Libby, but she wouldn't go to sleep. Oh, here, it's Daddy's little beard puller. This is the ones he actually got for Bruce, but she definitely lives up to it too. My husband has a big old beard on it. Like, not a full beard, but like around his mouth and chin. So anyway, that's what she was wearing to bed tonight. But she won't go to sleep, so she's going to stay up and talk with us. So I wanted to give a little bit of like a channel update and then talk about something that's kind of been on my heart. And also wanted to share with you some of my favorite postpartum items for post-cesarean. So we'll just start with kind of life update where things have been. So basically ever since about a month after I went back to work in the beginning of, end of April, beginning of May. About a month after that, the general manager was asked to leave the company, we'll put it that way. And ever since then, it's been really hard on, the workload has been a lot more, I'll put it that way. They have not replaced the general manager yet. Please excuse the flickering. We have a light bulb in our central light that's going out. We need to replace it, so flickers a little, I'm sorry. But yes, so my boss was asked to leave, and then the workload got extremely extensive. And then on top of that, we are currently, so under it's the same company, but they're transitioning from one concept to another concept that the company has, restaurant concept, and that's been a lot. So yeah, they have not replaced the general manager yet, and then they sent the other assistant manager, who was helping with the big workload with me, off to training for the new concept. And so I very quickly was the senior person in charge left in the restaurant, which was one thing I didn't want. I remember telling, when I interviewed with them, I was like, I thought that the thing I don't want to be as a general manager. I was coming from a general manager position. I didn't want to go into another one because of the hours and how much you'd have to be on call 24 hours a day. And it was too hard with having, Bruce and being pregnant with Libby. And it's just like, I don't think it's the right season for me to be in charge of a whole store. And so this really wasn't not what I wanted. So it's been really trying hard to just pray through it, pray my way through it, just push through it. I know it's a season. I have no idea when I'll be receiving my training for the new concept, but I've been pulling 60, 70 hour weeks working, like for example, tomorrow I work 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. Long days. All right, I guess it would be today. The day you're seeing it is Monday, so it would be today. I'm at work right now working really hard, working really long hours. But anyway, so that's the main reason my channel has been kind of up and down. I'm working so much at my physical job that I either don't have the energy or I don't have the time after that, and having little ones to sit down and film videos and edit and all that. So we're trying to come back regularly. I'm making a soft commitment because life is crazy, but I do want to try to release a video every Monday by 2 p.m. I don't want to give an exact, my target was always 8 a.m., but now I'm going to be like, by 2 p.m. So that way if I still have a little editing to finish in the morning, I give myself that wiggle room. So that's what my hope is right now that I'll be able to do, is every Monday by 2 p.m. release another video, because I really do. This is the work I enjoy doing. I love it. I love vlogging. I love sitting here making these videos. It's awesome. So the other thing I wanted to talk about, kind of a family conversation, sit down, chit chat, and I'm not blaming anybody. In fact, I want to thank everybody who did give me the feedback you did. But 2 videos ago, I believe it was 2 videos ago, I know it was over 2 months ago, I released a video on how I had a 2-month postpartum pregnancy scare. And I had made the choice to omit, I actually edited out the part of the conversation where I was talking about birth control. Mainly, and I know this is a part where I'm just going to have to develop a thicker skin. Mainly because I know my parents watch my channel. And it just seemed weird to think about my parents watching me talk about the birth control my husband and I use. So I had talked about that while I was standing in the bathroom freaking out about this test being positive. And I had made the decision when I was editing to edit that out. But I felt, based on the comments, I gave the impression that I wasn't using birth control. And so I definitely wanted to address that. I didn't really respond to any of the comments directly because I really needed time to process and think about it, decide how, I'm a pretty new YouTuber, been a little over a year I've had this channel, how I wanted to address it. So I decided I kind of just want to have a conversation with you guys about it. And for starters, I apologize. I gave the wrong impression, or it was giving the impression that I was not using any birth control. So, Mom, if you are watching this and you do want to skip past, I will put the time index of when I stopped talking about this down here. It's entirely up to you, but be that as it may. I was embarrassed to talk about it when thinking my parents might watch, so I omitted the footage. But yes, so long story short is yes, Anthony and I do use birth control, especially and now that I've had 2 C-sections, that we consider it highly important to be careful. And so on top of the fact that I have yet to have a cycle since having Libby, I have not had a period since my postpartum bleed stopped. And I've been taking daily, as I think I did leave that in that video, I believe I take daily OPKs to confirm that I'm not ovulating, and I haven't ovulated yet. And yes, I know, the fertile window starts well before you get a positive ovulation test. This one is a prime example of that, in the fact that we were trying for a baby at that time, we were not trying during the month that we conceived her for 2 reasons. One, I had just had a miscarriage. And I had actually had 2 miscarriages. Well, the first miscarriage had been several months before, but that was my second miscarriage. Just trying to let my body rest a bit. And 2, we knew if we conceived in that month, she would be born in either late January or early February, which she was. She was born February 9th. And Bruce was born in January. Nina was born in February. So we were trying to get past the 2 months we already had kids in. And I got a positive in our backup method, which I will talk about in a second. It was our fault. We weren't super careful that night. We didn't use it. We didn't use our secondary method that night. But I hadn't had a positive ovulation test, and I got one 7 days later was when I got my positive ovulation test. 7 days after the last time we had done anything that could have gotten me pregnant. And 3 weeks later, I still hadn't had a period. So I took a pregnancy test, and, well, actually, no, I didn't. I think it was less than 3 weeks later, because if you haven't seen my testing video for when I was pregnant with her, I started testing really crazy early. But yes, I did turn out to be pregnant, and I surprised, not surprised, because I was surprised because I had gotten it when I finally got my positive ovulation test 7 days after the last time we had done anything, and the time we had done it without our backup method. I was like, oh no, we're in the clear. I'm not pregnant. I'm not going to get pregnant. It's been 7 days. It's been a week. Nope. I got pregnant. That was Libby. So yes, it is safe to say the fertile window starts well ahead of when you get an OPK. But, so the other 2 reasons. So yes, I breastfeed. I hadn't had a period. I hadn't gotten a positive OPK. And our backup method that we kind of use, because we don't know when I'm going to ovulate, is we use the VCF spermicide gel. And that's where it's kind of similar to pre-seed, where when you're getting into that part of sex, you just insert that up in there. It slows everything down. And on top of that, so that's what we were using when I conceived her, and we skipped using the gel that night. But postpartum, those are 2 things we still, that 2 things, well, breastfeeding is something we really use. It's not really something we depend on. That, does keep my cycles at bay, but we use the VCF gel, and I also take the mini pill, or the progesterone-only birth control pill postpartum. I do not regularly take birth control when I am not breastfeeding, like a birth control pill, because the combined pill and my body do not mix. I have all kinds of side effects. I have tried multiple different ones. and they just don't work for me. But the progesterone only one that I used at postpartum with Bruce, and it worked beautifully. I never had any major side effects, nor have I since having had Libby. So I had been on that pill for 3 weeks from 3 weeks postpartum, so 3 weeks before we ever started doing anything, because we didn't until I was 6 weeks postpartum. We were using the BCF gel, and I was testing for ovulation, and I hadn't gotten a positive OPK. So all three, that and the breastfeeding, all of that stuff combined, I was just baffled as to how in the world I could have a positive pregnancy test in front of me. I'm like, there are so many walls in a baby's way right now. How in the world am I pregnant? And it turned out I wasn't. It was residual hormones from Libby. And at 2 months, after talking to my midwife, I did find hormones can last that long. I thought it was only like a few weeks, a month maybe, the hormones would still be left, but I was definitely very wrong on that. But yeah, some of the comments and messages I received after posting that video, I just kind of felt I wanted to clarify about that. And thank you very much. I got some very informational comments from you guys. And on top of that, I discovered through that whole scenario that one of the YouTubers I have personally watched for many years watches my videos, or at least watched that one, because she commented and I went kind of crazy. I was so excited. So yeah, anyway, I just wanted to have that talk. So yes, I am well aware, and we are definitely very much protecting. So if I were to get pregnant again, it would definitely be an act of God to get through all that. And in the long run, we are planning some more permanent I guess birth control, you could say. My husband is planning to get a vasectomy. But this year on our health insurance, our entire deductible went to little Miss Libby's birth. Her birth was almost twice the cost of Bruce's. So, yeah, and with the kind of health insurance we have, it just, the way it's set up, we would have to pay out of pocket for that. So we're just waiting for our health insurance to re-up in November, and then he'll get the permanent birth control in place. We won't have to worry about it at all. So, and I am less concerned. We do still use everything consistently, but I am less concerned now that I am more than 6 months postpartum. If I were to get pregnant now, I would definitely have to have another C-section. I mean, regardless, I'd have to have another C-section no matter how long it was. But it would be a lot safer now. So I'm not as concerned, but at the same time, we're not taking any chances. The last time we did that, along came Libby. A little earlier than we planned. We were targeting like a late spring, early summer baby, like right around this time. I would have been having the baby maybe a few months earlier. Actually, now it's almost fall now because it's September. But either way, we weren't planning to have a baby in that month, and we did. By the way, I'm digressing. So I did want to just talk about that and address that. And thank you, ladies, so much for all the comments you left. It's so great to know you have such a close-knit community, and this channel is growing into what I'd love it to be. So lastly, today I wanted to talk about some of my favorite postpartum cesarean products. I'm planning like a whole video on some baby product. I have too many baby products I really swear by. I did with Bruce, but then with Libby, everything changed. Like, everything changed. And like, she does not like a lot of the same stuff that Bruce did. So I'm like, okay, maybe I don't have a lot of the same postpartum baby faves. So, but anyway, these few things have worked well for me. I gotta just, where I'm sitting, I'm kneeling right now. And my legs are starting to feel it. All right. But postpartum after a C-section, things that I personally really like. Just Libby, there we go. Things that have worked well for me both times. Well, actually, this first one I'll talk about, I did not discover the first time when I had Bruce, and I really wish I had, because it was enormously helpful. And that's these, they're made by Frida Mom, but they're these silicone patches that you put on a cesarean scar. And I know other brands make them, but I found these at Target, and I figured, you know what, I'll give them a try. And oh my goodness, they are incredible. Hey, Blinky Light. They are incredible. they weren't really like cooling or anything, but they apply like a gentle pressure and kind of just like smooth everything out. They're designed to minimize the scar, which I mean they have a little bit, but what the part that I really liked was that they apply a gentle pressure to the incision. And that was something I remember I wore a post-cesarean belt for after Bruce for months because I liked that gentle pressure. And this applied it without having to wear that super postpartum, like super long postpartum. And they're amazing. Like they're a little bit cooling, but mostly they're just applied that pressure, and it was a comfort thing. Like when I'm up on my feet, walking around at work, working all these hours on my feet, having that pressure on there. And I'm over 6 months postpartum now, so I still enjoy these. It just helps with the comfort level. And then Tummy Honey. This is just general, what you call it? Stretch mark cream. Thank you. I just forgot the word. Stretch mark cream. But I find that rubbing it into my cesarean scar, and even does say that in the beginning, it helps minimize cesarean scars. It just like kind of helps moisturize it. It keeps it a little more elastic and movable when I'm doing the cesarean massage. And so it kind of just keeps everything flowing and comfortable, and it really feels very healing if I have a little like irritation. A lot of the stuff is designed around comfort. I really like a lot of things to help reduce the discomfort of the cesarean scar. So that is absolutely, and I'll put links to all these, but it's Bella B Organic Tummy Honey, and it's just a basic natural stretch mark cream, but I really love it for that postpartum effect. And then so this is the one thing I will say is my die-hard item coming out of both my cesareans. I mean, I went into my first one not knowing anything about cesarean recovery because I never expected to have one when Bruce was born. But this they actually supplied me at the hospital. It is a soft brace. That's about it. It goes, thank you, Libby, around the incision. It's supposed to help hold everything together right after the incision, kind of like help support. So they gave me a soft one and a hard one. This is the soft one, and I wore this the longest. And it's washable. You can just throw it in the washing machine and then in the dryer, and it'll help return like the elasticity to it. And then the hard one, I couldn't find the one they gave me at the hospital. It's a bit thicker than this one, and it's white. But this one is one I got on Amazon. It's just like kind of a hard, flexible binder that you can. I'm sorry. Oh, all right. See if I can do something with Libby so I can actually stretch this out. She can sit up. She's just trying to lean forward to grab this now. So it's like this kind of elastic, like stretchable guard. And I'll leave the link to it, but this is Loving Comfort post size. It's the medium size one. They have small, medium, and large on this on Amazon. And I like the hospital one too, but the hospital one is like, this fabric is like this thick, like it's really long. So after a while, it just kind of pushes up into my chest and is not comfortable anymore. So I got this thinner one on Amazon, and I use both. With Bruce, I used them for a really long time. With Libby, I think I only used them for like a month and a half. And I've seen other women on YouTube say, oh, I only use them for a few days and things like that. So that's great. But this is the soft one. And this I actually wear the longest, especially after I started working. And I started using it again after I started work just to help with comfort. I combined like these two together, and it was under my clothes. It was seamless. You never notice it. And it was awesome. And then, yeah, using the Tummy Honey. So those are just a few of my basic favorite items. I will have a video coming out soon on postpartum hair loss, because I believe I mentioned that in my 5-month update, mommy and baby update. Yes, Libby. The fact that I have suffered from it a lot more. So the research I've done and the things I've started using to rescue my hair. And yeah, so I'll be making a video about that coming up soon if that's anything that interests you. If you have any questions or anything you're interested about in this video that I didn't talk about, please feel free to leave a comment, send me a message. Don't forget to click like and subscribe, and we'll see y'all in the next one. Love you guys.